Greetings, dear friends, and Happy New Year. We are wishing you a great creative year filled with new achievements and meeting new amazing people. And for all a big team of Creative Society, we are wishing to reach our goal and inform all 8 billion people about Creative Society in 2023. My name is Anastasia, and my co-host today is Jason.
Hello, everyone. It is my special pleasure to introduce our guest today, Anna Kotlyar, speaker of the forum Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, Elena Sevruykova, PhD in Bioengineering, professor of the Institute of Advanced Materials and Technologies, National Research University of Electronic Technology, and Anastasia Anishchuk, chemist and PhD in chemistry. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And today we have a very special international discussion, and all our guests are beautiful women, professionals who work in a science-related field. And we would like to talk today about the most important point when a person makes a decision to act and to join Creative Society team. And also we will talk about the role of the professionals in building the Creative Society, and of course about our great forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity. In my case, joining Creative Society was a very big decision. It was like stepping out of my comfort zone, and it was totally something new. And of course, like it was very nervous moment. I did not know what I'm entering and had some doubts, but the desire for me to act and to contribute was so strong. And it was not any single day then I would regret my decision, because now I meet so many beautiful, brilliant, smart people with open hearts who are really willing to make a big change. And I really see how big steps we all together are able to do. And I'm getting very, very excited when I'm meeting our new participants, and our today discussion, I hope, will bring you the same inspiration as I get when I met our new participants. So it is really my pleasure to introduce you, Elena, and Elena Sevruykova. She just recently joined Creative Society team. It was prior to the forum. And Elena, thanks a lot for contacting us. And I really enjoyed your speech. It was really informative. And just I would really like to ask you, how did you decide to join our team? And could you please share your story?
Greetings everyone who has joined us today. Of course, I would like to congratulate all of you with the coming new year, and I would like to wish you that this year the main thing would be that people would get rid of fear and they would start acting towards the creative society. And right now I would like to share with you my story, how I have joined the society. I have long dreamed of technology and the service for the benefit of humankind, especially in such an age, this era when these technologies are such breakthrough, and they can just replace people with lots of unnecessary work. And just out of the chance, I saw a video with experts who said that we have lots of problems here on our planet, and of course I know, I'm aware of the climate problems. And then I, started to studying these issues that the experts have spoken about. And I have no doubts left that that the volunteers of the Creative Society project want to share with the people the true information. And then I wrote an email to Elizabeth Gromova and I asked, can I join such a wonderful format of society, creative society, where all the dreams are coming true and that all things would come true for many people. And right now I'm with you and I'm so happy to serve people.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing, Elena. And it's special pleasure and honor for us to hear these words from the professionals that the message which team Creative Society delivers, it is truthful information and it is very important information. And it doesn't sound like some kind of fairy tale. It is really, when we talk about the technologies, these are technologies which can be already implemented. And thanks a lot. And it is really great to see all of you. Jason?
Thank you so much for sharing your inspiration and being here with us today. I would also like to ask Anastasia, who also recently joined our team, could you please share what motivated you to join the Creative Society project? Thank you.
Я приветствую всех. Очень рада сегодня
I greet everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you today.
В моем случае
In my case,
достаточно большой материал.
it's, quite a huge material and experience I possess. It prompted to me that actually
Идет куда-то все не туда. И эту
everything is
информацию
going in the wrong direction. So people should necessarily know this information.
обсерватории
As an official of a geophysical laboratory,
вижу, что
I can see
происходит изменение.
what is happening and that the climate is changing.
Это давно, и уже
This has been studied for quite a long time, and
несопоставимые цифры.
the data, the numbers are some kind of incompatible in terms of the contamination of air and water, and all this indicates that we are going in the wrong direction. I was searching for the road, for a way out, for a way to this creative society, and I was sure that someone was already dealing with this and people get together and share their experiences. So I'm very happy to join you, and I hope that my experience and my knowledge will contribute to informing people, and so that all of us, all people, would finally open their eyes and understand that everything is very serious right now.
You're absolutely right. Everything is very serious right now. Anna, you are a very long-time participant of the Creative Society project. What inspires you to act, and why is it important for you? Could you please share with our audience? Thank you.
Thank you. To be honest, since childhood, I all the time felt this necessity to, for the world to hear me and to contribute to actually improving our ecology. And this was the only possible way to do it, to actually, study it from the scientific point of view. But when I joined the Creative Society project, I understood that there is much more to it. And when I participated and when I saw the Global Crisis series of the conferences, I understood the whole scale of what is going on right now in the world, and the fact that all these problems, the depth of these problems, the root of the problems is not in ecology or economy. It is in the format of society that we live in. Because if we change the essence of our relations between each other, relations and correlations of everything, how everything interacts in our world, and on what basis and what foundation these relations are based on, then all the problems can be very easily solved. And what actually inspires me is the fact that I found out that there is a way out. And no matter how scary, how hard the truth is, the truth about the fact and what kind of world we live, when we start to look at the things honestly, we will see that there is a way out. And not a single person right now in the world can say that there is nothing, no changes are occurring in the world right now. Me as mother, I want to live in a safe, world for myself, for my children, and all this motivates me to act. All this motivates me to not close my eyes on everything that I see, not to stay away, because if I will not act right now and every other person will think the same way, then our world will end up in a big disaster. If we will not change the situation right now, we will simply not have the future. And this is not, just some silly words. This is scientific fact, which has been proved by data that currently we have 5 to 6 years of relatively stable climate. Honestly, really honestly, when I'm sorry for being so emotional, when I look at myself, when I look in the eyes of my children, I know that if I don't do anything right now, in 5 or 6 years, I'm sorry, but they will die. What else do we need to start acting? How can we close our eyes? How can we stay away and, just think that nothing is happening? Even if you know this information, just double check it. If we're saying the truth or not. Just check it for yourself, analyze it, learn it, just do your research. And right now I'm appealing to a person who may, hear this information for the first time. 5 to 6 years of relatively stable climate, stable situation to change everything. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I was emotional, but right now is the beginning of a new year, and of course we have only bright inspirations, right? But despite of all this truth that we know, the main thing is that there is a way out. And this is something that gives us hope, gives us strength, gives us inspiration to be creative, to be active, because the creative society is a team of enthusiasts, and we know that everything is in our hands.
Absolutely. And thanks a lot for sharing, and thanks a lot for being honest. And I completely share with you your worries about children, about our future. But I think we are pretty lucky people, because we are not only know the truth, we are able to see the whole picture. So it's that we are let's be honest, we are all professionals, right? And we are all know that it's a kind of what is going on. It's not a funny story. It is a story about the crisis and different kind of crises which are appearing one by one. And we understand that with every year, the situation is not improving. And we know that it will continue to decline in terms of the natural disasters, in terms of ecology, in terms of economy. But at the same time, we know the whole picture, and we know that already we have sufficient technologies which are able to help us to overcome current difficulties. And we have amazing people who are caring. We have really a lot of people who really think that it's not right to live in this world. And the beauty of a creative society project, that it unites such a people, and it brings together professionals. It brings ordinary people with a big heart who understand that situation is not right. And as our today guests, as our today participants, all these people are seeking for way out, and this way out is exist. And our main task right now is to inform people about that. And it is really amazing what all of you were sharing. So Jason, would you like to share your thoughts on this?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your heartfelt opinion and experience regarding what lies ahead for us. Before we move forward and discuss further about the conference that took place on November 12th, it should be highlighted what's really exciting about this time, not just the fact that we face an existential crisis or that we're gathering professionals together to find a way out, but everyone has lived in this consumerist format. And so for the first time, if you're passionate as a professional and you're pursuing your better abilities to give back to society, right now is the time that we get to do that. And I think it's important to highlight that, because as it stands in the consumerist format of our society, regardless of the climate Cerberus, if you want to do something for others, you're inhibited by that. And so for me, that's exciting, because without this growth, without the project, without the conferences we do, we wouldn't have the individuals we have before us today who are gathering, sharing their knowledge, their experience, and their opinions regarding the climate crisis, our society, the conference, and importantly, the way out. So thank you. I'd like to come back to the forum held on November 12th, 2022. As I discussed earlier, a global crisis, our survival is in unity. At this conference, so much information was shared over a 12-hour period. What was the most important for you in this forum, and which idea resonated the very most with you? Elena, let's start with you, please. Thank you.
I guess I should start telling my story. With the concept, the creative society, right? When I saw it for the first time. So we do have crisis, not just in our country, but, it's global crisis, right? And when you hear such a title, then you do understand that, it concerns everyone, right? And you've got to react somehow to these words, to what's happening in the world. And then what I saw next in the forum, international forum, all those points that are incompatible with human life, it's impossible just to ignore them, right? Because you just you kind of let it go through your heart, your feelings, right? And you understand that you need to act. We are obliged to make a decision. And it is very important for me as work in the field of science, makes me realize it every day. I see new technologies, new tools, new decisions, and I see that actually people, they reject these innovations, opportunities. They do not want to change anything in their lives. People are so lazy that they even do not want to study the material, to study the information. And they just kind of ask me that, okay, you're a scientist, please confirm whether it is true or not. And I give the links. I give all the expert opinions to all the Creative Society project says about the climate changes, and with all the confirmations to each of the words of the forum, right? But people are so lazy even just to go to follow these weblinks and make sure that this is true. And what do people do? They just close up. And right now, you know that today in our planet, that except the climate agenda problems, we have a geopolitical agenda, and people really kind of blocked in their own cages, sort of life cages, and they do not want to react or to anything or to analyze any information. They're all filled with fears. And as Anastasia said, it's not just there is a way out, and even we have a couple ways out, but we need to start in them, right? And I would like at least to inspire people with this inspiration, with the idea that they should start analyzing information and start acting for the sake of their children, for the sake of their life, that people would understand that it is not just possible to exist, but even to start living a decent life. And within the framework of the Creative Society project, I see this way out. I see that I can inspire people with this information. And then if each person starts acting, that all together will reach the result that in 5 years we'll proudly say that we've done this breakthrough and we are saving our lives.
Thank you so much for sharing that. You brought a lot of important points, specifically the fear and the hesitancy, but at the same time, the breakthroughs you've witnessed and even your own courage. So thank you for sharing that with us. We're going to move forward now with Anastasia that we introduced earlier. Same question to you. What was the most important message for you at the forum, and which idea resonated with you the most? Thank you.
Well, I very much liked the information which was voiced about the cyclicity of the cataclysms that are happening on our planet, and that every time in years the energy which comes from space, it basically destroys the current species in our planet. And this is what we are approaching, in fact, this term. I would like to say that the word, actually, any word is energy, and a human is energy, and we can unite combined energy in order to prevent such global disasters and to resist. As Elena said, right, that for our kids, and Anna said the same, for our kids, for our future, because people really do not understand many things. When such words sound as some radiation coming from space, people just become desperate and say, what way can we interact this? Let's just leave this several years, and then it will happen the way it happens. Somebody is building a bunker, somebody wants to fly into space, but I think that it's a directed flow of electrons and a directed flow. Unless there is a purposeful movement of some flow, there is nothing happening. But as soon as this flow becomes purposeful and aimed, actually a miracle happens. And I really hope that we will be able to convey this information to many people, maybe in some simple way, but it will urge them to act and to join and to help each other, implement our common cause, implement our common idea.
Thank you so much, Anastasia and Elena. I'd like to bridge a point here as one of the speakers of the forum regarding in regards to the topic of war, and what we found out as a research team when we were discussing economy and war, that you both brought up an interesting point. One was fear, like the inability to do something, but then the action to overcome that fear, right? But as Anastasia brought up, the energy potential when we unite. And we had discovered that that's exactly what's being manipulated around the world is the human potential. And oftentimes by our own choice in the negative direction. And when we are provided and weaponized with the information and we're inspired to act, and we do so together, then we can overcome that external threat that was discussed regarding the cosmic rays and the influence on the planet's core. So thank you.
I would also like to comment to this really brilliant examples. Please. And thanks a lot for sharing. I really love this example that then it is chaotic movement of the electrons. There is no current, and once there is a field which unites all electrons, we are getting a light. And I think it's really great. Like children like comparison, and it's exactly what is going on. We are all really kind of like powerful electrons which having very chaotic movement with a great potential, but nothing happened. And really what uniting us is that this idea of creative society, that human life is the highest value, and that if everyone would be inspired this idea that every person deserves great conditions and that we all can succeed, and that my life as important as life of other person, this is really what brings us together. And we all really looking for the same thing. We are all a kind of fighting for the same positive things, and we should not really fight against each other. What we need to do, we just need to move together, to unite and to move together. And that is creating light. That is creating like really huge light from our planet. And it is really inspiring comparison. And I think I really wish that every person who is watching us would understand that this concept is so simple. We just all need to have this united direction to one goal. And our main goal is creating a society where the human life is the highest value. It's meaning that everything we have, technologies, education, like medicine, and everything we have right now, it serves in order to improve human life. This is really simple concept, and this is really understandable to everyone. And everyone is seeking for this opportunity. And really great. Thank you very much, our dear guests, for sharing this inspiration. And it's a real pleasure to hear all of you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Beautiful, actually. Anna, what was the most important message for you at the forum? And given the information you've heard thus far, maybe you have something else you would like to add as well. Please.
I would really like to emphasize on the fact that there were a lot of topics touched upon during the conference, during the forum, topics that really influence our life, and the fact that all the crises that we are facing right now, they are artificial, and the fact that, to be honest, there will be no crisis if we artificially will not create them. If they are not beneficial for some groups who create these crises, they will simply not exist. And the fact that all the problematics that was raised during the forum, for me, it was like my personal insight, the fact that this phrase, our survival is in unity, it is a beautiful phrase, but what is behind it? What is the depth of all the understanding of this phrase has opened up for me from another side. That it's not just a phrase, it is the actual tool. Why? Why do we say that in the creative society, the technology, all the benefits will serve for people, there will be no crisis and you will feel safe? what will change that in the creative society it will become possible, and why without creative society we're talking about crisis. This is the question that really often appears and occurs in people's minds when I communicate with them. What is the difference? And I think that during the forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, it was really clearly unfolded, right? The fact that in the creative society there is self-governance, where people make their decisions, where people build the life the way they think it should be. Today we have wonderful professionals, PhDs in different fields of science, amazing women who are motivated to act. We all exist in some particular framework of the system, right? Where there are some orders and rules that we have to follow that make it possible for us to have the right to choose who will, create the orders, who will rule over us. But in the creative society, this responsibility will be in the hands of all of us, of all people. And it doesn't mean that there will be anarchy, right? No, it means that we will create our future. We will build it together, and we will have this responsibility. And this is really amazing topic that is, just really interesting to uncover. It's really interesting to analyze and understand, truly why. And this forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, gives the answer to this question, that there is a way out, that we can actually exist without having someone over us, without having someone telling us what to do and ruling over us, without those people who follow their personal interests, right? And, we can exist without just waiting for some kind of miracle. We are the creators of our future, and this is what is amazing about it.
Absolutely. Anna, thanks a lot for sharing. And while you were talking, I was also thinking that it's essentially it's very hard to understand concept. What does it mean, self-governing society? What does it mean to be responsible? But I think in order to understand how it works, you should really join creative society. And because it's that here, it's what this realization taking place. And you might know I'm part of the climate team, and our climate team have multiple projects. So we have a project on creating a short movies on the climate change. Then we do research on the current changes on the climate for the next forum. In addition, we contact the top scientists and they record interview with them. In addition to that, we attend the conferences and make the presentation for the conferences. And then we also connect with our audience and sharing with them. And of course, as a part, we are of course talking about creative society. And all this work we do in our free time. And all this work we do based on volunteering activities. And there is nobody who will assign you job. Yes, people may ask for your help, but it's essentially you are deciding how much you will contribute. And it's that, thinking that someone who is having paid job would be performing this function better as you kind of voluntarily chose this project and contribute to that, and you're passionate about that. I think it's very great concept is that, if I have a passion to make the life of my community better, to connect more people, then I think I will do pretty good job. And I don't really kind of need special title, or I don't need special honors, like in order to do this. And this is a really great idea that we all can contribute and we are all becoming responsible. And I think it's in our today discussion, I really see that Anastasia, Elena, and Anna, and Jason, it's all people who feel responsible. And this responsibility, it is one of the main driving factors for the creative society and for how our team works and functions. Elena, would you like to share some of your thoughts?
Меня просто переполняет эмоциями.
I'm just overwhelmed with, emotions and feelings from your words, because really, somehow, people to inspire, so that people would understand and would start acting and they would follow us and we would create together the happy future. And as yes, you say that finally it is the time that we take responsibility for our lives, because majority of people, they do not just understand how to do it, that they cannot manage just plain things in their everyday life, just not to mention just several things, right? And therefore it is easier to connect to kind of those groups of people who can control emotions and actions. So that is in some negative aspects. And of course, I would love that our climate to change for the better. And I wish our people just wake up and we would start using technologies for the benefits of life.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for sharing. That's really great comment. And yes, we are here to share our thoughts and our feelings, and of course to inspire our new friends who joined our discussion to watch the forum Global Crisis. Our survival is in unity. And just as one of the most inspiring pieces for me, which I think would resonate with everyone in our today's discussion, we would like to share a short part of the video from the forum, and this video on the technologies which will be available. And very often people don't understand this idea because they simply don't see how this will be, how it would be different. Is that it's very hard to imagine we are kind of all living in some, in very stringent condition, and we have only such a small window how we can look at the future, and we don't really fully understand how it can change, what kind of technology exists already. And today Elena was bringing this topic several times, that already brilliant solution existing, and they already can serve to people. And so let's watch together the short fragment from our forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, which was held on November 12, 2022, about the technologies.
Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Author C. Clarke. What is your wildest dream? What will you get when it comes true? A big, beautiful house? A super modern car? Lots of traveling? Do you want to work less and spend more time with your family and friends? What do you personally dream of? What if dreams come true for every person on Earth, and the creative society will come? What will your life be like? Have you thought about it yet? A human being is the most valuable element in the creative society. Therefore, the first thing that will be developed and applied is technology that will free you from hard, grueling, and dangerous labor. It will be done by robots and artificial intelligence. Nowadays, in the consumerist format, the introduction of advanced technology will leave you without work, but in the creative society, it will be different. In addition to the universal basic income of $10,000 a month, You can earn extra money and work at a pace you feel comfortable. No more than 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. And if you're an entrepreneur or businessman, schedule your time the way you want without worrying about anything, because both you and your employees have a universal basic income, and all the cutting-edge technologies and robotics are there for you. As of today, robots are already capable of taking on the most labor-intensive tasks in agriculture, metallurgy, mining, automotive, and other industries, and even in the neutralization of radioactive waste. If you don't want to work, then don't work. You can afford it. But how long will you be able to lie on the couch? A week? A year? You'll have lots of opportunities to do what you love and earn an income that you could only dream of before. You will be able to learn new professions and skills and educate yourself as much as you want. In education, there will be use of technologies that will make the learning process super interesting, easy, and interactive. Virtual reality glasses and holograms are already being used today. One of the most important areas that will be upgraded with the most advanced technology is the protection of human life and his safety. Thus, you will be safe and secure everywhere. You won't be afraid to come home late at night. You won't be afraid to let your child be alone outside. You will be able to go anywhere in the world and nothing bad will happen to you. Safe city systems have already been created based on artificial intelligence. They can quickly respond to emergencies, protect citizens and visitors every day, investigate and even prevent crimes. Intelligent systems and road infrastructure are already capable of controlling traffic throughout the city and ensuring safety. They can prevent traffic jams, send a signal to the car about a pedestrian who is about to jump out onto the road, and even intervene in case of a possible collision and activate the brakes. Imagine that you're going home in such a smart city, for example, in an autopilot air taxi. You chat via video call or watch your favorite movie. You walk into your beautiful big house and you already have a hot dinner waiting for the whole family. Smart gadgets and artificial intelligence have already washed, ironed, tidied everything and ordered food delivery. Who has cooked the dinner then? Home robotic kitchens can already scan your refrigerator, find the right gadgets in your cupboard, and cook a meal of any world cuisine on its own. The updated version will be able to put dirty dishes in the dishwasher and put clean ones in the cupboards. And these innovations will become available to you already during the transition period from the consumerist format of society to the creative one. And in a few years in the creative society, there will be even more pleasant surprises awaiting you. There will appear replicators of food, clothing, and everything you need. Have you ever heard what a replicator is? It's a device which creates an item you need, from a hamburger to a t-shirt, or earrings from elementary particles. To do that, it uses the information about the object in a small amount of energy. A company from California has already created the technology of the future, a printer that makes drinks right from molecules. The cartridge system makes it possible to make thousands of natural drinks with almost no waste. And this is just the beginning. The breakthrough discovery of nanotube technology by Massachusetts and Yale graduates allows them to manipulate matter at the molecular level and already obtain gasoline and other fuels directly from the air.
When this technology is everywhere, what does that future look like?
What I'm picturing is something like the size of a mini fridge that essentially can take waste materials and turn them into useful products like fuels and building materials. Or it can pull CO2 out of the air and turn it into fuels or building materials.
The use of replicators will not only make our lives easier, but will also greatly improve our health. We will stop eating artificial foods, as we do now, which contain a lot of harmful chemical additives and flavor enhancers. Food from a replicator will be real, very tasty, and healthy. It is made from elementary particles, the same as in natural products. Finally, we will remember the taste of really natural food. Of course, if you love to cook yourself, you'll cook your own pleasure, maybe even in tandem with the famous chef. Your smart house in the creative society is a house that not only takes care of chores and food, but also of you and your family. It will be able to monitor your health indicators. For example, acoustic tissue has already been developed. It can monitor your heart, and breathing in real time without you noticing it. You can even talk through it, answer the phone, and communicate with other people. Smart Toilet with the smart health function will take tests and send the results to artificial intelligence and, in case of abnormalities, to your doctor. It will advise you on how to adjust your diet. It will tell you what kind of food is not good for you and warn you about the risks of certain diseases. Smart Mirror will track your health vitals while you're getting dressed. It will help your elderly parents stay in touch with the doctors. It will also take care of your skin. It will detect problems in time and even help to choose the right product for you. In the creative society, even for beauty, there will be used the most advanced technologies. You will be able to save time by getting your manicure in minutes and building your eyelashes by an ultra-fast robot, or try on clothes in a virtual dressing room. Sure, you like it already. What's next? Watch this. Thanks to the introduction of energy innovations, such as a fuel-free generator, the house will be completely autonomous. No more utility bills, not even for the heating. In the creative society, everything will be focused on the continuous improvement of goods and services. Imagine you won't have to repair your car or home appliances because they don't break. What will you do after a delicious lunch? Do you want to go to your favorite band's concert? The supersonic train will get you there in minutes because it can reach speeds of over 1,000 kilometers an hour. Countries such as the USA, Canada, China, and South Korea are actively developing vacuum and magnetic train technology, and they are competing for leadership in this futuristic technology. Do you want to spend a vacation somewhere on uninhabited islands or meet up with a friend on the other side of the planet? Already today, NASA is developing a silent supersonic aircraft for commercial use. It will cut the duration of flights by at least in half. And this is just the beginning, because space technology and the creative society will serve people on Earth as well. You will get anywhere in the world, not only quickly, but absolutely for free. No visas, no bureaucracy. There will be complete freedom of movement for everyone. You will be welcome in every corner of the world. There will be one world. No wars, no enmity. We'll have nothing to fight about anymore. True human values will finally return to society. Cutting-edge technology will cleanse the planet of all garbage without harming the environment. Even today, innovations make it possible to completely recycle unsorted waste into raw materials for repeated further use in industry. You will be surprised to know what great prospects await us in the creative society. Garbage will become the most valuable raw material because the introduction of replicator technology will help to completely break down garbage and unnecessary things into elementary particles, and then read everything we need from them without leaving home, from food and clothes to gadgets and so on. We will no longer have to destroy the planet and kill animals to survive. In the creative society, we will be able to breathe clean air again, drink crystal clear water, and enjoy the pristine beauty of the oceans and forests. Have you decided what you'll do in the creative society? Have you long been dreaming of spending more time with your family or changing your career? Or would you like to learn how to surf on the best beaches in the world after work, travel with friends? Or maybe you dream of seemingly simple things, for your parents to be protected and live long, for your children to be healthy, and that for you, yourself, that you won't grow old and live more than 100 years. The creative society is better than your dreams. You'll have something you couldn't even imagine. And it's a society focused on your needs. It's the implementation of the best technologies, the world's best practices, all for you. Imagine your dream. It will become a reality in the creative society.
That's what we all have to look forward to when we unite, and we unite our potential, as is the nature of today's discussion. My friends, you are all scientists and professionals. I would like to ask you, what is the role of a professional in our society in sharing the information presented at the forum and on sharing the idea of the creative society? But before you answer, let's establish a common ground of what a professional is. as according to common accepted definition. A person who has mastered a high level of expertise in the subject, notion, or field. And someone who is considered a professional, part of a professional body due to their educational qualifications, who also follows prescribed morals and professional code of conduct. So knowing that and understanding, we're all here professionals. Anastasia, what is the responsibility of sharing that information? That is the question about the creative society and the forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity. Please.
Я считаю, что ответственность профессионала — это всегда...
I think that the responsibility of a professional is always to speak honestly and fairly about what is happening and to use one's qualification and experience in order to convey this information to some people in more simple language, to some people maybe in some professional terms, to convey what is the most important right now, what can happen, and how this trouble may be prevented in one or another field, this as we discussed them.
Yeah, I think it is a very great point that it's essentially our responsibility to tell the truth, and that it's our responsibility to make it more clear for people. And I think Forum really collected a lot of excellent point and misleading information, particularly about CO2 as a main driver for climate change. And yeah, Anastasia made really great point that it is essentially our duty and job to deliver it. And I think many of you would agree that a lot of people look at you as a person who knows more, and they expect you to give this expert opinion. So.
Thank you, Anastasia, and thank you to our host, Anastasia, for your comment, because it's perfectly said, and that's the hopes and that's the expectations people have when they hear that word professional. So what comes along with that title that we carry is that responsibility and that moral obligation to ensure that the truth is shared, no matter the consequence, as long as it's the truth of the matter, and then pursue it together. Elena, what are your thoughts on that question of what is the importance of sharing the information that was disclosed at the forum and on the Creative Society project itself, please?
Thank you, Jason,
for your question. And you're right to say that professionals are about a kind of responsibility, which we just not only should understand, but should be aware of, right? So professionals are such a category of people who can reflect the ability to perform, fulfill their professional functions, and at the same time, they must understand how how the results of the research would be reflected in the hearts of people and which consequences would be in the future, right? And the most important thing is that what a professional must be able to do, from my point of view. Yeah, since we work in science, we use sometimes very complicated terminology, and sometimes even like quantum mechanics notions, terms, maybe not quite comprehensible, but even such plain words like joy, science, research, I'm sure that people would understand such words. So I believe that it is, the most important thing is to tell the truth to people, right, and convey this truth in simple words. For example, we have such a high technology developed society today that everyone has a mobile, right, today, and we know how to use it, but when you ask a person which technology is well embedded inside this phone, people kind of get lost and they do not understand how to answer. So our task is to convey these technologies to people in plain words so that a person would understand how it is reflected in his or her life.
Thank you both so much for your responses. And I think that actually feeds very well into the video we watched about technologies, that we have such a potentiality to move forward. And as professionals, we should communicate it not just in a comprehensible way or using professional language, but also in such a way that it's reduced and understandable by everyone. So thank you both so much. And I'll turn the floor over to Anastasia, please.
Thank you very much, Jason. Yeah, and I would like to turn this question to Anna. Is that what do you think? What is the role of the professionals in sharing information? And you a very long time already with creative society. What do you see, like maybe in a broader scope, this role of the professionals? What is your vision?
You know, I completely agree with Anastasia, with Elena, with you guys. The fact that honesty and truthfulness is really important. And, you know, during conducting a lot of interviews, we communicated with famous scientists in their fields of study, and unfortunately, we saw the fact that not all scientists are free to talk, to say what they really think. They are forced to hide their opinions because it can lead to unacceptance of their opinions from the side of the organizations they work for, especially talking about CO2, because there are some taboo topics in the science. And when scientists are not free to communicate with other scientists from other countries to hold interdisciplinary studies, we know that there are topics that are basically hidden and kept secret, between scientists. The pollution of by different materials, chemical materials and stuff. And we understand that scientists are basically right now kind of like in between these taboo topics, right? They're not free to express what they really think. And the video that we just saw from the forum, these technologies, they really exist, but why are they being segmented, right? Why are they're being spread in one region but not used in another region? And such technologies, they should be used in a large scale, especially if we're talking about ecology, right? You cannot solve the problem of pollution in one particular region. You cannot clear the water in one lake. You cannot clear the air in one particular region. These borders, they exist only on the political maps. This division inside the science is completely artificial, and it is destructive, and it exists in the consumerist formative society. And unfortunately, this is one of the factors that keeps us away from actually solving the global problem, the global climatic problem that persists right now. And if to be completely honest, we understand that the greatest minds of our humanity right now are isolated from society. They are serving political interests and economical interests of states. These people are simply they're not let to speak publicly, right? Because the great scientists, they're being used by politicians, by countries and states, and this is a very hard topic to talk about, because science, it is actually art, it is interaction, it is brainstorming, it is simply creative process. This is the sphere where you want to make different kinds of new things, right? And the fact that it is right now being manipulated by military system, and that right now science is basically serving to wars and consumerist system, and it is really a painful truth. But it is, from other side, very great to see those scientists who are really brave enough to speak up, to speak the truth, and they participated in the conferences that are held in the series of global crises, that talked during the forum. And we see that they're trying to silence up, they're trying to shut us up, right? Those scientists who are free to speak. But right now it's great that we have such a platform where scientists can openly and honestly communicate with each other, no matter what kind of circumstances they are in. And this is the great thing about the creative society, because this provides the unification of scientific potential, of free scientists. And this is actually something that will guarantee us a peaceful and safe world. And this is something that we need to have in order to solve the problem with the climate and improve the life of our society and implement the technologies that we already have worldwide. And we, of course, need to support this scientific potential of people. And I see that such type of interaction already exists. And what we have to do right now is actually implement it worldwide. And then the creative society will happen very, very fast.
Thank you very much, Anna, for sharing. And essentially, all of you brought really a lot of great points. I think these points would be really sufficient for another scientific discussion. And yeah, this is absolute truth that on one side, we have this science, which is serving to the government, to the governments, to the war. And then there is a science which having own financial interests, and where suppression of information is taking place, and there is no communication and no engagement. It's where everything works a kind of to power really few people. And on another side, we are talking about the inspiring community, joint community of brilliant people who are serving to humanity, who have opportunity to exchange ideas, to brainstorm together, to use the most advanced technologies, and to openly discuss this thing, and then also to bring the best solutions to the human life. And this is really uneven choices, and I think the choice is pretty clear for everyone. And I would really like to thank our very special guests. And, I also would like to mention that several times our guests were mentioning that the information which was voiced at Forum Global Crisis, our survival is in unity. It is absolute truth. And we more and more to our emails getting the responses from many scientists who are writing to us that I watched your forum and all what you're saying is truth, and I want to join your team. We hear it from the scientists from different parts of the world. And if you are among these people, if you also watching us and understand and completely agree with what we already voiced, or like you're willing to watch our forum and you want to contact us, please do so. Please don't be silenced and join our international discussion. Join our TikTok conversation or Zoom calls. We are really happy to hear from you. And you see our contacts below, and please write to any of them. And the platform of Creative Society, it is a platform for reasonable, decent people. And we are so happy that there are so many of them. And with beautiful girls whom you've seen today as our guests. And it is Anna, Elena, and Anastasia. And they are just our new participants, and we are so happy that you all joined us for today's discussion. And thanks a lot for sharing your inspiration, and thanks a lot for sharing your professional point of view. And this is really, really valuable when such a brilliant professional raise their voice and they bring into the attention of people the best solution which we can come all as a humanity. And of course, this solution is a Creative Society. And I would like to thank all of you who watched us. And I would like to thank my co-host today, Jason, for this brilliant discussion, and Happy New Year to everyone.